Kalu was a man who had the world at his feet. At 32 years old, he was one of the most successful moguls in Lagos. He owned estates in Banana Island, a fleet of luxury cars that could fill a stadium, and a shipping company that did business across the Atlantic. But despite his overflowing bank accounts, Daniel's heart was an empty room. He was lonely. He wanted what his parents had, a love that was pure, a love that did not care about the weight of his pocket but the weight of his character. Before we begin this story, besties, drop a comment telling us which country you're watching from, and hit the subscribe button. We'd love to hear from you. Enjoy the story and let's begin. Enter Jessica. Jessica was the definition of a slay queen. She was stunning, with skin that glowed like polished bronze, expensive wigs that touched her waist, and a smile that could blind a man. Daniel had met her at a high-class charity gala. She had seemed so gentle, so soft-spoken, talking about how much she loved helping the poor. Daniel was swept off his feet. Within 6 months, he put a diamond ring on her finger worth 15 million naira. But Daniel's mother, Mama Neka, was not convinced. "My son," she said one evening, sipping her bitter leaf tea, "a snake does not hiss to warn its prey. That girl, her eyes are too hungry. She looks at your house, not at you." Daniel brushed it off. "Mama, you are just old-fashioned. Jessica loves me." But doubt is a small seed. Once planted, it grows. Daniel started noticing small things. The way Jessica spoke to waiters. The way she never wanted to visit his village. The way she asked for money constantly. So Daniel devised a plan. A plan so crazy only a desperate heart could think of it. He called his head of security, Mr. Okoro. "I want to disappear for a week," Daniel said. "Tell everyone I have traveled to Dubai for an emergency merger. But in reality I will be here. I want to replace my personal driver, Sunday. Sunday I will go on paid leave and I will become the new driver." Mr. Okoro. Daniel smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "She rarely looks at the staff, Okoro. To her, drivers and maids are invisible furniture. Besides, with a cap, some fake facial hair, and a pair of dark glasses, she won't look twice. I need to see who she is when I am not watching." And so, the plan began. The next morning, the sun was hot over the humid streets of Lagos. Daniel, now Samuel, sat in the driver's seat of the black SUV. He wore a slightly oversized, faded driver's uniform. He had glued a rough beard on his chin and wore a baseball cap pulled low. He felt nervous. He drove to Jessica's apartment in Lekki. He honked the horn gently. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes. 20 minutes. Finally, Jessica stormed out of the building. But she wasn't alone. Following behind her, carrying 3 heavy suitcases and 2 handbags, was a young girl named Amara. Amara was Jessica's personal assistant, or rather, her glorified slave. Amara looked tired, her simple dress worn out, sweat trickling down her temple. Jessica marched to the car and banged on the window. "Are you mad?" she screamed. Daniel rolled down the glass, keeping his head low. "Ma, why did you honk at me? Do you know who I am?" Jessica yelled, her face twisted in a way Daniel had never seen before. "You common driver. You are lucky my fiancée is away, or I would have you sacked this morning. Open the boot." Daniel felt a cold chill run down his spine. This was not the woman who whispered sweet nothings to him. He stepped out, rushing to open the trunk. "Sorry, madam," he muttered, affecting a rougher voice. "Don't tell me sorry, just do your job," she hissed. Then she turned to Amara. "And you? Why are you walking like a snail? Put the bags inside. If you scratch my Louis Vuitton, I will deduct it from your salary for the next 10 years. Amara struggled with the heavy bags. She looked like she hadn't eaten. Daniel instinctively reached out to help her lift a heavy suitcase. Their hands brushed. Amara looked up, surprised. "Thank you, sir," she whispered softly. Her eyes were kind, deep, and filled with a sadness that touched Daniel's soul. "Don't thank him," Jessica snapped. "He is paid to work. Get in the car, let's go. I have a spa appointment." As they drove through the chaotic Lagos traffic, Daniel remained silent, gripping the steering wheel. In the rearview mirror, he watched Jessica. She pulled out her phone and dialed a number. "Hey baby," she cooed. Her voice changed instantly to a sweet, sugary melody. "Yes, darling. I miss you so much. Dubai? I'll bring me something nice." "Yes, Daniel, I'm just at home praying for your safe return. I love you too." Daniel felt like vomiting. She was talking to his other phone, which he had left on auto-divert to voicemail. She lied so easily. She lied with the same mouth she used to abuse Amara just seconds ago. After the call ended, Jessica's face went stone cold again. She kicked the back of the driver's seat. Driver, why is the AC not cold? Do you want to kill me with heat? God, I hate poor people. You all smell like sweat and desperation. Amara, sitting squeezed in the corner of the back seat holding Jessica's poodle, spoke up timidly. Madam, maybe the traffic is making the engine hot. Shut up. Jessica shouted. Who gave you permission to speak? Just hold the dog. If Princess barks, I will slap you. The next few days were a revelation for Daniel. He saw a side of humanity he didn't know existed in his own circle. He saw how invisible the poor were to the rich. One afternoon, Jessica ordered Samuel to drive her to a high-end restaurant on the island. Stay in the car, she ordered. Amara, you too. Wait here. She went inside to eat. The heat in the car was suffocating because Jessica had taken the keys, meaning no AC. Daniel sat there, sweating, his fake beard itching terribly. He looked back at Amara. Are you okay? He asked gently. Amara jumped, as if not used to being spoken to with respect. I'm fine, sir. Thank you. My name is Samuel. You don't have to call me sir. We are both staff here, Daniel lied. Amara smiled, a genuine, beautiful smile that lit up her tired face. I am Amara. It's not easy, is it? Madam implies. She can be difficult. Difficult is a small word, Daniel laughed. Why do you stay? She treats you like a rag. Amara looked down at her hands. My mother is in the hospital. Kidney issues. I need the money. It's not much, but every naira counts. Madam Jessica promised to help with the hospital bills if I serve her for 1 year. I have 3 months left. Daniel's heart broke. He knew for a fact Jessica had never mentioned helping anyone. In fact, Jessica often asked him for money for charity, money that probably went into buying her shoes and bags. Has she paid any of the bills yet? Daniel asked. Amara shook her head, tears forming. Not yet. She says she is waiting for her fiancé, Mr. Daniel, to marry her. Then she will have access to millions. She says once she marries the billionaire, she will settle me. So I have to endure. Daniel gripped the steering wheel so tight his knuckles turned white. Jessica was using his name, his future money, to enslave this innocent girl. Just then Jessica returned. But she wasn't alone. A man walked her to the car. A tall, flashy man wearing too much gold jewelry. He held Jessica's waist possessively. Don't worry, babe, the man said, leaning into the window. Once you secure the bag with that fool Daniel, we will be living large. Just make sure you get his signature on the joint account documents. Jessica giggled, kissing the man on the cheek. Don't worry, Tony. Daniel is stupid in love. He trusts me blindly. Once we get married, I'll transfer the funds to our secret account in the Caymans. Then I'll file for divorce. He won't know what hit him. Daniel, sitting in the front seat, felt his blood turn to ice. It wasn't just rudeness. It was a heist. It was a robbery of his heart and his wealth. Driver. Jessica barked, startling him. Take me home. And if you mention seeing Mr. Tony to anyone, I will ensure you never find a job in Lagos again. Do you hear me? Yes, madam, Daniel said, his voice trembling with suppressed rage. The breaking point came 2 days before Daniel was supposed to return from Dubai. It was a rainy Thursday. Jessica had a fitting for her engagement dress. She made Samuel drive her to the boutique. Amara was there carrying the umbrella. As they stepped out, Amara slipped on the wet pavement. Mud splashed onto the hem of Jessica's white trousers. Time seemed to stop. You clumsy idiot! Jessica screamed. In full view of the public, she raised her hand and slapped Amara across the face. The sound echoed. Do you know how much these trousers cost? It is more than your entire life's worth. Amara fell to her knees, crying, trying to wipe the mud with her bare hands. I'm sorry, Ma. Please, Ma. Sorry? Sorry won't clean this. Jessica pushed Amara away with her foot. You are fired. Get out of my sight. I don't want to see you in my house or anywhere near me. Go and die in the gutter where you belong. Daniel couldn't take it anymore. He unbuckled his seatbelt. He was about to step out and end the charade right there. But he paused. No, a public scene now would be too easy. He needed to destroy her ego the way she destroyed others. He needed the world to see her madness. He stepped out and ran to Amara. Get up, my sister, he said, helping her up. Driver, what are you doing? Jessica shrieked. Leave that trash alone. She is a human being, madam, Daniel said, looking her straight in the eye through his dark glasses. Jessica gasped. You talk back to me? Good. You are fired too. Both of you get lost. I will call my fiancé to send security to pick me up. Useless people. She stormed back into the boutique. Daniel looked at Amara, who was shaking, rain mixing with her tears. I have failed, she sobbed. My mother. How will I pay the bills now? She promised. Daniel took off his driver's cap. He took off the dark glasses. He looked at Amara with intense sincerity. Amara, wipe your tears. No one is firing you. And your mother will be treated by the best doctors in Lagos. Amara looked at him, confused. Samuel? What are you saying? You just lost your job too. Daniel smiled. Get in the car, Amara. I have a story to tell you. The next day was the welcome back party. Jessica had organized a massive dinner at Daniel's mansion to celebrate his return from Dubai. She invited the creme de la creme of Lagos society. Politicians, influencers, business partners. She wanted to show off. She wore a stunning red gown, looking every bit the future wife of a billionaire. She moved through the crowd, laughing, showing off her ring. Oh yes, Daniel lands tonight. He simply couldn't stay away from me, she boasted to her friends. In the servants' quarters, she had hired new staff since she had fired Samuel and Amara. She didn't care where they were. At 8 p.m. sharp, the gates opened. Daniel's convoy rolled in. The guests clapped. Jessica ran to the front door, putting on her best smile, ready to play the loving fiancé. The door of the main Rolls-Royce opened. Daniel stepped out. He looked sharp, regal, dressed in a white agbada that shone under the lights. Honey! Jessica screamed, running to hug him. Daniel sidestepped her. She almost fell. The crowd went silent. The music stopped. Daniel? Jessica asked, confused, regaining her balance. What's wrong? Aren't you happy to see me? Daniel stood on the steps of his mansion, looking down at her. He took a microphone from the MC. Good evening, everyone, Daniel said, his voice booming. Thank you for coming. Tonight was supposed to be a celebration of love. But instead, it is a celebration of truth. Jessica laughed nervously. Oh, Daniel, you and your jokes. Come, let's cut the cake. There is no cake for you, Jessica, Daniel said coldly. He signaled to the large screen behind him, usually used for music videos. I want to introduce you all to my personal driver. His name was Samuel. On the screen, a video started playing. It was CCTV footage from inside the car. The guests gasped. It showed Jessica kicking the seat. It showed her screaming at Amara. Audio played loudly. God, I hate poor people. You all smell like sweat. Jessica's face went pale. Daniel, turn it off. What is this? Then the video cut to the scene with Tony. Audio, once we get married, I'll transfer the funds to our secret account. He is stupid in love. The crowd erupted. Whispers turned into shouts. Tony, who was actually at the party, tried to sneak out the back gate, but security blockers caught him. Jessica fell to her knees. No, it's fake. It's AI. Daniel, I love you. Someone is setting me up. Daniel walked down the stairs slowly. He stood over her. Do you know who Samuel was, Jessica? He reached into his pocket and pulled out the fake beard and the dark glasses. He put them on. Jessica's eyes bulged. She stopped breathing for a second. She looked at him, then at the screen, then back at him. The recognition hit her like a truck. You, she whispered. You were the driver? I was the driver you called a dog. I was the poverty you smelled. I was the person you fired because I helped a girl you pushed into the mud. Daniel turned to the crowd. This woman is a fraud. She doesn't love me. She loves my pocket. And she has a heart as black as charcoal. He clapped his hands. Security. Mr. Okoro stepped forward. Yes, sir. Throw her out. And make sure she leaves with exactly what she came with. Nothing. Daniel, please? Jessica grabbed his leg, wailing, her makeup running down her face, ruining her perfect look. I'm sorry. It was the devil. Give me a second chance. The only person who deserves a chance, Daniel said, pulling his leg away, is the one you trampled on. He gestured to the main entrance. The doors opened. Amara walked in. She wasn't wearing her maid uniform. She was dressed in a beautiful, modest blue gown that Daniel had bought for her. Her hair was done. She looked radiant, though shy. The crowd parted for her. Amara, Daniel said, his voice softening, I promised you that kindness pays. You treated a nobody driver with respect while this queen treated him like trash. You are the true queen. Daniel announced to the stunned guests. Ladies and gentlemen, the engagement is off. However, the foundation I am launching today will be headed by Miss Amara here. And her first project will be ensuring no staff member in this city is ever abused again. Jessica was dragged out of the gate, screaming, her reputation in tatters. Tony was handed over to the police for attempted fraud. 2 weeks later, the mansion was quiet and peaceful. The staff were happy because the Wicked Witch was gone. Daniel sat in the garden drinking tea. Amara walked in holding a file. "Sir," she said, "the hospital bills for my mother. The receipts are here. The doctors say she will be fully recovered in a month." "And that is why," Daniel said, taking her hand, "I want to get to know you, not as a boss and employee, but as friends. Can we start there?" Amara smiled, a smile that was brighter than all the diamonds Jessica had ever worn. "I would like that, Samuel," she teased. Daniel laughed. It was the first time in years he laughed from his belly. Years passed. Jessica tried to find another rich man, but the video of her confession had gone viral. She ended up selling petty items by the bridge to survive, hiding her face from people who mocked her. As for Daniel and Amara, they didn't rush. They built a friendship that turned into a rock-solid love. When they finally married 2 years later, it wasn't a show for the public. It was a celebration of two kind hearts finding each other in a wicked world. Moral of the story: be careful how you treat people you feel are better than you. The person you are looking down on today might be the person you need to look up to tomorrow. Humility will open doors that beauty cannot enter. And a good character is the only currency that never devalues. The end. Thanks for reading. If you enjoyed this story, drop a comment below and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss another touching story from us.